This is Angela. How are you? I hope you're doing well. This is the December 2nd edition of the Booked and Busy online book club. Listen, I did not make it home yet. I am still in my car, as you can see, and I wanted to stop and pull over and get online because I believe that people may be expecting me to be online, and I wanted to be here. So the book that we picked for this month, December, is Stacey Abrams' While Justice Sleeps. It is a fabulous book that I believe was published in 2021, maybe. Now, I know that you all know Stacey Abrams as the representative in Georgia. She was the gubernatorial candidate for the Democratic Party in Georgia in the 2018 election. I believe I believe their gubernatorial election was 2018 because president was 2020. Yes, 2018. She is a phenomenal woman and she is an author. Now, I think this is the first book that she published under her real name. Prior to this book being published, she wrote several other books under a pseudonym, Selena Montgomery. So check her out. I'm sure you all know Stacey Abrams. If you don't, Google her, go to Wikipedia. They have as plenty of information about her, more than I can say in the time that we have right now. But I want you to go ahead and get While Justice Sleeps. It is available in Amazon and any local bookseller. I didn't get mine from Amazon. I can't remember where I bought mine. I've had it for a while. I know I didn't get it from Amazon. I can't remember exactly where I got it. It could have been Barnes and Noble, but any bookseller that you are that you have in your community, if you want to go to a brick and mortar store or if you want to go online and don't want to use Amazon, you can find this. This is a New York Times bestseller when it came out, and it is a great book. I am going to read. Oh, I'm sorry. So, there was a glitch there. I said I was going to tell you a little bit about the book. It is a legal thriller, and it is basically the story of a Supreme Court justice intern and the justice that she works for. He has been working on a case, or I should say, the Supreme Court has been working on a case involving a U.S. Biological tech company who wants to go into business with an Indian, East Indian tech company. And the case is before the Supreme Court. The United States president is against the merger, saying that it will harm the public, that the potential for misuse of the products that it will create is great. That's the rationale that he uses. But the real reason is something far more sinister and far more deadly than a merger might be. And so this is again a book of intrigue. It centers around the intern who is the protagonist of the book, this young African American woman, and the issues that come about when she is made the executor, well, not the executor, but the guardian of her boss, for whom she interns in the Supreme Court, who has put himself in a coma. It's crazy. One of the things that I thought about when I was reading this book was the similarities between the Supreme Court and what they do in the book and our real-time current Supreme Court. The Chief Justice in the story is a woman, and I likened her to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Um, the president I likened to T. Rump. Um, there are so many other aspects of this novel, including the fact that the symbolism of chess is all throughout this book. I don't know how many of you play chess. I don't. I've tried to learn it. I've tried to teach myself. I know just the basics, but I am by no means proficient in chess. However, I do follow it sometimes, and there this is a book that would appeal to any person who enjoys chess. One of the big themes, I should say, in this book centers around a chess move where the two bishops are sacrificed, and it's called the Lasker Bauer um, move technique. I'm not really sure what you call it in chess. Is it a play, Lasker Bauer play? I don't know, but that is the name of a famous and infamous tournament between a Mr. Lasker and a Mr. Bauer in Amsterdam in 1889, I believe, where Lasker won using this crazy, I guess never before used move where two bishops are sacrificed, um, so that the enemy's king would be uncovered. And again, I don't really understand chess that well, but those of you who do and who really are followers of chess, who are really into chess, you might even know about the Lasker Bauer move. Um, but chess symbolism is all throughout this book. So those of you who are chess junkies will love this book. Those of you who like political intrigue will love this book as well. It also has themes around how big are biological tech companies. Um, how big should they get? How much innovation is too much? Um, how do you regulate, biological advancement? On the one hand, this biological advancement can produce new drugs and new protocols for managing, even eliminating um, diseases, curing those people who have certain diseases. But then they could also do some great harm. And that is something that we grapple with in real time in the world, but especially in the United States. The other thing is what is the ethics behind getting rich off of selling needed medications, needed treatments to people who are hurting, who are suffering? What what is the ethical and moral stance for creating something that can help people and withholding it simply because they can't afford to pay? Um, what is the ethical viewpoint about people who get rich off of this kind of business? Because it is a business. And so those are all things that we grapple with every day in the United States. Um, the whole idea also of loyalty to country. We just came through an election cycle, and there were people that said whatever it takes to keep my country the way I want it to be kept, or to return it to the traditional values, whatever those are. Whatever it takes to do that is okay. So, how far do you go to maintain traditional values? How far do you go to support your country and show your loyalty? Those are questions that come up in the book, because there are people in the book who do things because of their loyalty, or their perception of what loyalty is to the country, to a political candidate, um, to a group. And so all of those things are themes that you will find in this book. And everything is something that can be tied to what we are dealing with, what we grapple with every day in the United States. And so it this is something that I think will appeal to anyone who is a reader and who is an adventurer, because the book is set in New York. Did I say that? No, I'm sorry, not in New York, but in Washington, D.C. And if you know D.C., like just a little bit, like I know enough of DC to recognize some of the places that appear prominently in the book. So even that, from a travel standpoint, was something that was interesting to me. The There are issues regarding families, and it all goes back to loyalty, right? Loyalty to country, loyalty to individuals, loyalty to and within your family. How far is too far to save a family member who doesn't want to be saved? How much do you do for someone who continually lets you down? Where do you draw the line? And what is your responsibility as a parent? What is your responsibility as a child? Not child in terms of age, but in terms of relationship. Um, and I'm trying to think. Another thing that this book brings out is about people who have special skills that others just don't have. You know, persons who have almost photographic memories. It's called eidactic, Eidetic. I did I died I can't pronounce it. Eidectic or eidetic. I think it's eidetic memories, where they can see something, they can see numbers, they can see, it could be 100 numbers, it could be like a code that has all of these digits and letters attached to it, and they can see it, and they can memorize it, and they can regurgitate it. They can look at codes and they can figure them out. They can see things um, in in symbolism, and they can figure out puzzles and things that others may take years, if ever, to figure out. And so the question comes, Do you know anybody like that? Have you ever encountered someone who has that skill? How did they use that skill? How did you see them? Um, there's something wrong with the live. We're having a difficulty, so let me see what I can do to get this straight.